So it's been about 3 weeks since I started using the new M4 iPad Pro, and I do like it, but I would not say it was worth the upgrade. And here's why. Though there are a couple things that I really do love and like about the new iPad, first of which being the Apple Pencil Pro. This is probably the number one thing that I am the most happy about with the new iPad series because you could really feel the difference with the new Apple Pencil Pro. And I know that it sounds minor that like, oh, now you could click the pencil to switch back and forth with the palette. And you have a hover over, like all of those things. At one point, I thought, okay, how big of a difference can it really be? Especially from someone who isn't an artist. I'm not an artist. I don't draw a lot. I know this would be a game changer for those who are a drawer, an artist. But I am a big note taker. So for me, what I like to do a lot of the times is that I use one of my favorite apps called Freeform on the iPad. It comes with the iPad, and what it really is like this endless piece of paper that you could squeeze in, squeeze out, like however you need. Basically, it's this endless paper. The one downside with this app before, when I used my old iPad, is that whenever I need to go switch the pen and eraser back and forth, I cannot click on it. Like there's no this new feature. So what I usually do, either I have to go like this, right? The little toggle thing, which still works with the new one too, but it just never really is that precise. I feel I don't have energy with my index finger to switch this back and forth a lot of the times. So most of the time I would actually just use this like hover over thing to like switch back and forth between pen, pencil, etc. And it just isn't super efficient. But now I have set it where if I click the pencil, you can see here, it just switch back and forth automatically from the playhead with whatever last thing that I just used. And that has been a game changer for me to like just write a lot more efficiently and smoothly without having to feel like I am bombarded with how to navigate this and that. It sounds like a super minor thing, but it actually is a game changer for me. And I just love taking notes even more now. And another thing that I thought I wouldn't really like as much is that you'll notice that when you over anything, it could be your notepad, it could be an app, it could be you're browsing the web or just pointing to your apps, that you will see a shadow and like a pointer, like almost like a ball pen at the tip that just follows you. Like I'm not even touching the iPad, like this is touching the iPad. But when you're just like hovering on top, you could see a shadow and a ball pen like following the tip of your pen all the time. And actually that is a really cool thing. I actually end up liking it a lot more than I thought I would. And so just something about the new Apple Pencil Pro that to me, it is worth the upgrade, because there was a period of time when I first saw the demo of the new pen, I was like, yeah, okay, that does seem great, but it doesn't seem like something that I really need personally. So I was actually thinking that I wanted to use my older Apple Pencil 2 or whatever with the new iPad, which it was just a miss on my end. Actually, it's not even compatible. It does not work. So I was forced to buy the new Apple Pencil Pro. But I'm actually really glad I did, because love it. I love it to a point where I don't have it and I'm using my old iPad with the old Apple Pencil Pro. I actually miss the new Apple Pencil Pro. And for those of you who is just very interested in testing or using the new Apple Pencil Pro, you don't need to buy the M4 iPad Pro in order to use it. You could get the new iPad Air that they have, which is also compatible with the Apple Pencil Pro. So if you just want to use that, you don't really care about the iPad Pro features, M4, how much lighter, brighter OLED, all of that stuff, then yeah, I think the Apple iPad Air, the new version that's compatible with the Pencil, is actually a really great option. The second thing that I also really love and appreciate with the new M4 iPad Pro, this is a 13-inch by the way, so it is the bigger screen real estate, and I love that it's actually noticeably, I love that it is actually much lighter to hold and to carry. This was actually something that I initially thought, whatever, I don't really care about it, because look, every single iPad, it's already thin enough, light enough, whatever. How much lighter, thinner do you really truly need it? And the truth is, you don't really need it, but it is much lighter and just easier to carry. So if you're someone who do plan on carrying your iPad around, walking around, or if you like holding it like this to write stuff, you would actually really notice a difference. And it is actually much better for your hands, for your hold, for whatever things that you're carrying. It is, and don't mind carrying this thing around a lot more. And that was something that I thought, look, it was gonna be a minor thing, I don't really care. But now, whenever I do go back and hold my old 12.9-inch 5th gen iPad, I'm like, man, this is heavy, you know, compared to the new iPad. So that is another thing that I do appreciate and really like about the new M4 on top of the new Apple Pencil Pro. Aside from those two, honestly, those are the really two things that makes me feel new iPad is cool. But the other things I would say that even though I didn't really care for it as much, I do notice the difference is one is the OLED screen. I never really care about OLED. To me, even my iPhone, my old iPad, my regular TV, like doesn't even matter if it has OLED or not, it's whatever. But I do notice that when I watch movie on this thing, or even when I'm just like browsing the web or just on regular social media apps or even taking notes, I actually do notice that the screen looks nicer. Like the brightness is brighter. Certain things just look a lot more crisp. Like there's just something about it that I'm like, okay, yeah, like I actually notice some difference, even though it's not like some major difference because I don't really play video games or anything like that on the iPad. But it is something that I do notice, even though on a untrained eyes and like a normal everyday type of user. So I was like, okay, so for someone who actually look out for these things, I'm sure it's a pretty major difference for them. And the last thing I will say about the new iPad that I do kind of notice that it's better is that the M4 chip is helping a bit when it comes to things are a little faster, snappier, and some of my heavy duty apps like Final Cut Pro crash less than my older iPad. And some of this, I think I'm honestly just not using the full capability of M4, and that's fine because I'm just an everyday simple user. I just use it mainly browsing the web, entertainment, and taking notes, and rarely do I do super heavy duty work on the iPad. So honestly, I cannot justify the M4 chip. But I do notice that when it comes to, even when I try to edit on the iPad, new iPad, it crashes less, which in my older iPad, and I'm not sure if it's truly related, but it crashed a lot. It would crash every, I would say less than 10 minutes. It will crash my Final Cut Pro app whenever I try to edit. On this new M4, it would still crash. Don't get me wrong. At first, I was like, oh my God, maybe it'll fix this issue. It did not. But it would crash less. It will probably crash every 25 minutes or something like that. Maybe not every 25 minutes because I don't really edit for more than an hour or two, but it would still crash. That's the thing. That's, I guess, unfortunate thing in my mind, even though, again, I'm sure it's not really the chip's fault in any way. But I was just hoping that it would just solve all of the issues that I have. But it did not. But I do notice, you know, it is better than what I had. So those are really honestly the 4 things that I noticed that was actually better just by my naked eye. And or just by, you know, holding it or whatever, just your regular interaction with it, that it was nice, it was great, it was better. But to me, it just does not justify the price tag of the upgrade, especially if you are someone who already have an existing iPad that you enjoy and you love, and to you, it's already worth it. I actually don't think it was worth the upgrade in the sense of the amount of money that you would pay to get the incremental improvement that you would get. I actually would recommend the iPad Air, the new one that supports the Apple Pencil Pro, more than the M4 iPad Pro. Because having the lightest of the lightest and the thinnest iPad is not that big of a deal to you, and OLED, it's like a nice to have for you, then honestly, this is not really worth it. But the Apple Pencil Pro, though, is something that I do find very cool, and I know that if it's just that, you might as well just get the new Air, because you could use the Apple Pencil Pro with the Air. So yes, it is better in some way, it is nicer in some area, but if you're someone that already have an existing iPad that you enjoy, you should keep that and wait for the next one. Maybe it will be this amazing thing that is completely different. I doubt it. But anyway, I hope you enjoy this.